Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining on time. We'll wait for more 5 minutes and then we'll start off the session. We'll wait for 2 minutes and then we'll start off the session. I know you people must be asking questions. This is the time where we have a lot of questions about our careers, right? So we'll just start off the session in next 2 minutes. So yes, we'll start off the session. First of all, I will introduce myself. I am Tejaswini Thakur on the behalf of Blub World and Third World Teen Parliament. A very good evening to all, and I will be hosting the session for the evening. Firstly, I would like to welcome our guest, Mr. Ashish Gupta, and all the teens here that you are here and we'll be having this insightful sessions, that is the career Q&A. I totally understand there's this question that what I want to do in my life is such a big question. Even when I was in that age, I wanted to be an astronaut. So I know I wanted to be an astronaut and someday, some doctor someday, lawyer someday. So this was it. I always have this thinking that, okay, there's no one to help, but we are fortunate here that we have our guest with us, Mr. Ashish Gupta, who himself has set the national record for your career guidance book, sir. Thank you and congratulations as well. Sir, what we'll do is that we'll start off with your opening address, follow up with the questions that we'll be taking from the teams directly.
Hi, everyone. Very good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining for this session. I understand, as you said, I'll continue from there that deciding what to do is probably one of the most challenging thing, and that too when you don't know everything. So what happened is that until your school, your world view is very narrow, wherein you are limited to one geography. Until then, today, of course, you have internet, you have Google, everything is one click away. But in my generation, there was a problem. The problem was not having enough information. And in your generation, there is a problem. The problem is having too much information. So today what happens is, though everything is just one click away, but then once you click, there are so many links that are there to confuse you. Okay. You get hundreds and thousands of queries, hundreds and thousands of answers for everything. And then you are tempted that whether I should do this or do that. So I realized that while working in education industry for last 12, 13 years, I have worked in North India, in South India, Central India, different universities, interacted with hundreds and thousands of students, and understood that one of the key challenges is, of course, getting an unbiased review. So I was so devoted to the subject of career guidance that I end up writing so many books on this. I'll just show you one of my books, which is called AG's Book of Careers After 12th. So more than 1000 careers I have captured in this book, right from engineering to offbeat careers. Everything that you can imagine, I have captured. Now the goal is, of course, to bring it to online so that more and more audience can get it. And this is, of course, one platform to do that. Now, there's one thing that you need to understand when it's all about choosing a career. There are two things which are fundamentally important. One is having your own self assessment, that what I am good at, what exactly I want to do. And second is looking at the future. When you choose a future, it's not about today or tomorrow, it's about 5, 10 years later. So today, if you are 16 years old, you are actually going to start a job in 2030, 2029, 2031. So you have to look at something which still works. Now, imagine a situation in 2016 or 2015. And could you imagine somebody being a Instagram influencer? Today is a full-time career, right? So you have to look on those trends also. Like today, if you talk about artificial intelligence, if you talk about technology, or I always tell the future careers is all about one traditional industry married with technology. I'll tell you how it works. Now, remember this, the future careers are all about one traditional industry married with technology. Understand this. Recently, you would have heard in Prime Minister Modi's speeches also that we will create Lakhpati Didi. And he said that one thing that will create Lakhpati Didi, that is drone technology. So what these women will do is they will be the drone operators. But whom they will help? They will help the traditional industries, especially farming. Now, today what happens is you actually have a technology wherein you can send the seeds to different villages which are in remote corners. Imagine being in Jammu and Kashmir. You can actually get things faster, even in the remote areas of Jammu and Kashmir. Similarly, imagine banking. Now, think about your father's time or 10 years back. You have to go to bank. Now, in today's generation, do you remember going to bank for anything? Today, we practically have everything in our hand. And this technology is called fintech. Finance is married to technology. And we have got fintech. Similarly, you have health. Similarly, you have uh, so many industries which are coming up, but all the industries connected with technology. And the second thing is finding a solution. If you see any successful startup today, I wish that most of you go on and do something on your own. If you see some of the most successful countries in the world, they are all about small time entrepreneurs, or I would say small time successful entrepreneurs. The most successful country, be it European countries or be it the US countries, are not about jobs, but about their small entrepreneurs, small businesses, which generate sufficient income. Now, next thing is that when you have so much of technology in place, when you have so much of learning in place, when you have so much of solutions in place, it's all about understanding it, finding the solution, understanding what I'm going to do after 8, 10 years, carving a path accordingly, and then making it successful. This is exactly how a career planning or career look like in the country like India, which is growing very fast.
I totally agree, sir, because the time has changed a lot. When I was deciding my career, and even if I feel when you were deciding your career, it was a totally different thing. We were three, four
Correct.
options that we had, and then
Right.
these teens right now, they have a diverse number of options that they have. They can choose from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And today, if you can't do anything, you can actually go on Instagram, find a topic, and become an influencer.
Perfect, perfect, sir. And that too, these
Right.
people are making a lot of money. And I know that
Correct.
all of the teens which are there right now, they must be seeing and getting influenced because they are called influencers as well, right?
Right.
So, sir, we'll be taking questions from the teens one by one. But before that, I would request all the teens to please switch on your camera so that we can make the session as much as interactive, right? I can.
Also, one thing I would like to add here is that feel free to ask. Now, this is your opportunity to engage and discuss. So, at this time, do not hesitate. Whatever you have in your mind, ask, and I'll be happy to answer.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. That's a great thing because, yes, you're getting the chance to ask your questions. So please ask. I'll be starting off with the teen's name. You have to unmute yourself and then you can start off. So we'll start off with Mayank Rai. Mayank, you can unmute yourself and start off. Mayank, can you unmute yourself? Okay. So, sir, I'll take his question. I guess he has some technical issues. So, he
Mhm.
asked that given the rapid pace of technological advancements, what specific emerging technologies, programming languages, and specified or specialized skill sets, what is the crucial thing that professional aim to stay connected to? Because there are so many options in technologies these days. So, what do you think they can do?
Okay. So, what happens when we talk about technology specifically? There are two ways to look at. One is hardware, second is software. Okay. So, first thing you need to understand that this is divided into two things. When I understand this, then I start looking which side. Okay. Now, do you know from the smallest to the biggest, what is running the world? It's called chips. Even if there is a minute thing, and from your phone to the aeroplane, everything today is being run by a chip, and it is called semiconductor. Today, it is said that those who have the excellence in semiconductor can run the world. And this is exactly why some of the countries have their advantage. Of course, today Taiwan is number one when it comes to chip making. After that, China, USA, and India is working hard. And it is said that one of the most difficult industry to enter in is the chip making industry. Okay, now that is the hardware part, wherein you can get into hardware. Second comes is the software part. Now, when I talk about chip making, there can be bigger hardwares today. Anything from your laptop to your desktop to your speaker to your TV, whatever you are seeing is a hardware, is a product. Second thing that comes is the software thing, wherein you start from coding and then go up to artificial intelligence. Now, the basic is, of course, coding, languages, doing the technical jobs. So many IT companies are there building the IT products. Now, you imagine any industry, and every industry is running with IT. I talk about banking, which is basic, but even if I talk about any company or any factory which is in your area, would be running some sort of software. And there is some company that is providing the service to them. So that is how you have thousands of companies. Now, what is the future in this? We have already have the traditional technologies. We have the coding in place. We can make the softwares. We can build the softwares. We can build the solutions. Today, you can build any solution. Imagine Zomato. What is that? Connecting a restaurant to a hungry person through a rider. What is Uber? Connecting a rider to a person without any middleman is Uber. So it's a technology. Anyone can go on and build a product solving a problem. Number two. Next, that is a technology is AR VR. Artificial reality, virtual reality. If you have seen the Apple Vision, there is a new Apple Vision that they have glasses, or Facebook have launched their glasses with Ray-Ban. What they are doing is today, if you wear the Apple Vision Pro, what can happen is that you can see the entire theater in, or anything for that matter. Right? That is AR VR, future technology. Next thing is 5G. As we know, 5G already launched in India. 6G is coming. Now, after 6G, what will happen is even in the remotest part, there will be something called teleporting. So imagine someone today who is very sick, but this person is probably in the remotest corner of Rameshwaram, but need the treatment from Delhi. Today they have to travel, or maybe the doctor can do a video call. But in future, you will have a technology wherein the doctor can actually feel like him being present. That is called health tech. So similarly, you are going to have a lot of technology in place in all these areas. But whenever you think of technology, think in two terms, hardware and software. And then start deciding which side I want to go. That is where your preparation will start.
I totally agree, sir. The technology is all over the place when it comes to medical, doctors, everything. So
Everything, everything.
yes, even we are connected through technologies. I believe that we have students from different countries and we are connected here through technology itself. So here comes the next question. Say that because there's one thing that comes up every time when we talk about career, and we even tell this to the teens that we have to give back to the society. We have to give back to the nation. So the next question comes from Dhanya. Dhanya, please unmute yourself and please ask your question. Before asking your question, make sure that you introduce yourself and tell your school name as well and the place where you belong from.
So, good evening, sir. My name is Danya KH. I'm coming from Devi Palikarnai, Chennai, India. And, sir, I have a question to ask you.
Yeah, please go on.
Dhanya, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, sir. Sir, just a second. I'm having a technical issue. Ma'am?
Yeah, I can hear you, but your voice is a little feeble. Meanwhile, you are having a technical issue. We'll take the another answer and then we'll come back.
Sure.
Yes. We are having a
Ma'am, can you hear me?
yeah,
Ma'am,
Dhanya.
I'll tell the question.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. That's with diverse interests and a curious mindset. Find careers that let them pursue their unexplored passions, earn money, and give back to society at the same time.
Yeah. So what happens, there is one thing called social entrepreneurship. Okay. You should go in detail and search about it, read about it, do something about it. But if you actually want to do something, earn money, and also want to give back to society, you can actually become a social entrepreneur. Okay. Now, what do you need to do right now is that you need to go on and search who are the most famous social entrepreneurs of the country. There are a lot. Okay. Then you need to find out what they have done, what kind of industries they are, you will find, and then you can see what are the example. I can give you some examples like people who are working in the field of environment. Okay. Now there are people who are doing business in terms of garbage grading. So they collect the garbage, grade it into multiple categories, then recycle it. They are doing social entrepreneurship wherein they are also earning money while giving back to society in terms of saving the environment. There are multiple other ways like NGOs, think tanks, and many more things. If you see this model like World Teen Parliament, this is also one of the same models wherein they would be earning some money by doing something I don't know, but at the same time, they are also giving back to society. So, this is what you can do. Social entrepreneurship is something that is for you.
Thank you so much, sir.
I totally agree, sir, that even if the companies, the big companies, the multinational companies that we have right now, they are all bounded to have some of the social responsibilities that is
Yes,
CSR.
CSR is mandatory for everyone.
Yes. So in other way or any way, you will be connected to the society, even if you're working in a company.
Correct,
But if you're
correct.
doing it directly, that's a very good thing.
Yes, and there are world-class universities that offer courses in social entrepreneurship. So you don't have to go out. There's a proper channel to do it.
Yes, sir. The next question comes about the myth that the society has about some of the very reputed career options that we have. The question comes from Fatima, Madiha Fatima. Madiha, will you please unmute yourself and put up your question?
Good evening, sir.
Good
This
evening,
is
Fatima.
Madiha Fatma. This is Madiha Fatma of 8th grade from MS Creative School, Hyderabad, India.
Yeah.
How can we overcome the myth about certain careers like lawyer is about telling lies? And how
Mm-hmm.
can we motivate other careers are at
Mm.
par like medicine, engineering, etc.?
See, Fatima, I'll tell you one thing. It might sound hypothetical, but nothing is a myth. You have to create your own reality. I'll tell you how. There is a lawyer in Delhi who is very successful and probably charging 10 to 50 lakh rupees per hour. And there's also a lawyer somewhere in a village of somewhere in India who is struggling to make two ends meet. Okay. There is a lawyer who has never spoken lie in their entire life. And there is also a lawyer who has not spoken any truth except a lie in their entire life. Right? So there are different kind of people in this world. You have to relevant and resonate with some and make your own reality. Second, I always tell that no career is big or small. It's all about what you are able to do best. Imagine in your Hyderabad, you have this Karachi bakery. Okay, what he does is he makes a biscuit. Now imagine telling someone that would you want to career in making biscuits? He'll say no, I want to become an engineer or a lawyer. But probably he would be making much more money than thousands and lakhs of engineers and lawyers. So it is not about what you do, it's about making the best out of what you have and making your own reality.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, the myths are everywhere. It's just that if you want to do it, do it. It's just for your sake. It's your passion. Your career should be your passion, right? So please go and pursue it.
Absolutely.
So we have one question that I think this one of the very common question and very important too that I want to ask on the behalf of the teenagers, because
Yeah.
this is one thing that is being seen and it's there in every of the interviews that these
Hmm,
teens will be there. That is the
right.
weakness and strengths.
Hmm.
That as strengths and weakness are all asked in almost all of the interviews. So how do they build on their strengths and how do they improve on their weaknesses? Because it's a very confusing answer that comes up from the interviewee, that what exactly we should answer in that.
The first question that comes is when do I know my weakness and strength? At least in the age that you are in is not the time to find out your weakness or strengths. If you want a genuine answer, I can give you an answer that you go do this, do that, you will find a strength or weakness, but you have not experienced the word. You have not gone out of your home. What do you know about this world? How many people you have met except your school and your teachers and your relatives and your neighbors? So until and unless you go out, meet 4-5,000 people, you go out, experience the world, you go out, do something, you will find your weakness and strengths. Right now, the focus of yours should be building the basic skills and not finding the strengths and weakness. And what are the basic skills? The basic skills is being good in the subject of your interest. Do I like history? It's not important that you should be very good in physics only. If I like history, I'll do good in history. Number one, these will build your long term confidence. Number two, learn, improve basic English. English gives you jobs. English takes you to places. English help you build better career. Focus on your English skills. Number three is communication. Wherever you are, whatever you do, whoever you meet, there is one thing that matters for you is how do you present yourself. You can build your communication. Next is presentation. You should develop some basic presentation skills. How do I face the camera? How can I speak on Zoom? How do I have better screen, better visibility? Or when I'm in class, how can I give better presentation? If I have to speak on 5 slides, what can be the flow? And you will find a lot of stuff online, offline available. So right now is building the basics. Now it's like not having the wheel and having the AC in the car. If your car cannot run, what would you do with the AC and cooling? Right? So right now is not the time for strengths and weaknesses. It is time for building the solid foundation for your future.
Yes, sir. Agree. Because this is the question that must be there, that, okay, fine, if someone will ask me my weaknesses and strengths, usually what we do is that we Google it. But it's better to work on your strengths first, make it the skills that you are pursuing right now, do good with it, and eventually you will be the best.
Absolutely.
We will be going to the next question. We'll be taking it directly from the team. Janav. Janav, please unmute yourself and please.
Uh, Good evening, sir. I am Jana Vadav of GD Goenka High School, Gurugram, Haryana. And my question for you is how to start a startup business and what kind of business suits best in India, and how to get more profit by investing less, and what are some steps so that the business never fails?
Right. So now you have multiple questions actually. One question is how to start a startup. Okay. So there's a very simple process to start a startup. That is, one is finding a problem. What is the problem that you are solving? Second is finding the way you are going to solve it. And third is building a MVP. MVP is called minimum viable product. Okay, I want to build a Zomato. First, I have to build a basic application and do 5 rides successfully. That is my MVP. Once my MVP is done, I'll go and tell the world that, okay, this is something I'm building. And I'll reach out to 100 or 200 people that I know, ask for their feedback, ask them to use the service. That will give the validation to my business. Once my validation is done, then I'll go to the market. So this is the step by step process to do the business. Now second question is, what business is good in India? Right now India is a gold mine, and in a gold mine what happens is, no matter where you dig, you will find the gold. So that exactly is what India is today. We are the world's fastest growing economy. So no matter what you do, if you do with dedication, with right intention, and put your best efforts, you will be successful. Nothing can stop you. What US was 30 years back, India is today. Or sorry, what US was 50, 60 years back, China was 30 years back, India is there today.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, so I hope, Janam, you must have got your answer. So there's one thing that is very important to discuss, as this is a career Q&A that we are having with all of the teams. We'll be
Yeah.
taking the questions one by one, but there's one important thing that is there, that is portfolio or CVs. We have our
Mhm.
next question, which will be asked by Asim Ahmed Khan. Asim, please unmute yourself. He has a very direct question, that what exactly is to be done with the portfolios and CVs? Because the first question, the first thing that is coming up, build your CV, make your CV strong, you will get
Mm.
placements. So you'll surely be asking. Asim, please unmute yourself.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Hi, Asim.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm Asim Ahmed Khan of Administrative School, Hyderabad, India.
Yeah.
Sir, my question to you is, what deliberate measures can I undertake to transcend conventional career paradigms and cultivate portfolio of diverse experience that imbue my trajectory with resilience and adaptability?
Mhm. Okay. I think you have a very in-depth question wherein a lot of things you have involved, but I'll come to portfolio first. Okay. Now, the first thing that you need to understand is, where do I need portfolio? Which course will require the portfolio? If you are in school right now, you will be doing some courses wherein you will not require portfolio at all. Whereas in some courses, you will have mandatory requirement for a portfolio. Now, I'll tell you how. Suppose if you want to do engineering or technology programs, there is entrance exam and not portfolio. So you don't need a portfolio. You need to crack the entrance exam. You have to prepare for that. Suppose you go into commerce, BBA, BCom kind of courses, then you might need to crack the entrance exam or only interview or both. And then comes when you go in courses like humanities and offbeat careers, arts, filmmaking, all such courses, there or design, there you will require a portfolio. Because if I say I'm a very good painter, how would you trust? I have to show something. If I say I'm a very good filmmaker, how would you know? I have to show the film. So that exactly is where a portfolio is required. So first thing you have to define is that what course I am opting for. And then next thing will come is what kind of portfolio. So once I'm able to define that this is what I want to do, then the next thing will come is the kind of portfolio that I have to do. So suppose I'm going for filmmaking, I have to create a portfolio of films. If I'm going for design, I have to create a portfolio of design. Now in design also, I will opt for whether I'm going for furniture design or fashion design or communication design. Now, if I'm going for fashion design, I have to have a portfolio of clothes or maybe real clothes. If I'm going for furniture design, I have to have a portfolio of furniture. Or if I'm going for communication design, then that's a different subject altogether which works in digital. So then it's all about first deciding, then creating. You can't create first and decide later. You have to decide first and create.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I hope you must have got your answer, Asim. That just not writing on the paper is important. You have to first do it, get good with it, and then you can mention that in your CV.
Hmm.
Right? Okay. So this one question that is there, that when it comes to the timings that they have to manage, because when we were kids also, we had a lot of extracurricular activities, we had so much to do in school. So as a teenager, I got this question from the teenagers at a lot of time, that as a teenager, how they can optimize their time in such a way that it will be useful for them in the future career options that they'll be considering it.
Okay. So, I would say here that, see, you don't have to work for 24 hours to get into a dream career. Okay. If you are able to decide that this is what I want to do and give sufficient time consistently, that matters. You can't change the choices every day. Okay. So first thing that is required is creating a choice that this is what I'll do. And second thing is working regularly. Now, understand this. There's a very simple formula that I give to everyone. I decide I'll do this. I work for 4 hours on this and then don't work at all in the month. I decide I'll do this. I work for 3 hours in a day, but I work only every week. So I give 4 weeks, 4 weekends, 12 hours. And then I decide something to do and I give 1 hour every single day. How many hours I have worked in a month? 30 hours? So this is exactly what most people do, is that they wake up someday and decide this is what I'll do, and then go on and give 7, 8, 10, 12 hours and then forget about it. It's all about deciding and being consistent on it. Once decide, there's nothing called time management as such, because everyone has to define their time management. It cannot be one size fit all for everyone. Because as they say, na, that we all have 24 hours. Somebody is a billionaire, somebody is still begging in the same time, right? So you have to define your way for time management, but you have to be deciding that this is what I'm doing and being consistent with it is all about the good time management.
Yes, so thank you so much for answering it so well, because I totally believe in the thing that consistency is the key. We make plans. I feel that teenagers can also raise their hands and can tell me if they agree with me or not. That we make plans, study plans every time, and then we cannot stick to it. Right? When
Yeah.
I used to make plans and all, see, almost everyone is raising their hands that we make plans this time, this time, this time we'll do that. For that day, it feels I was totally productive. I did this, I did that. But afterwards, it's just like, oh my God, I didn't do this. And after
So
three
let me give you one more insight in this. What happens is that when you make plans and why you're not able to do it, there's a reason behind it. And the reason is in your brain. In your brain, there is a chemical called dopamine. Okay. And dopamine is actually the alternate of what you call is addiction. And in addiction, what happens is you don't have to do drugs for addiction. Instagram is an addiction because it gives you instant dopamine. YouTube is an addiction. It gives you instant dopamine. There can be a lot of things. Talking to someone, speaking to someone can be giving instant satisfaction. It's a dopamine. Now, what happens is why you're not able to do your plan is because you are taking too much of dopamine. I want food, Zomato. I want to talk to someone, Zoom. I want to watch something, Instagram. Everything is instantly available to you. Now, what happens is because everything is instantly available to you, working on a plan is hard. Watching Instagram is easy. And your brain decide to do that. And that is exactly why most of our plans are not being done yet.
I totally agree, sir. Instagram, when it comes to me, I'll share this that even at once when I was in college, when I was pursuing the degree, I was also very much addicted to Instagram, and it didn't give me anything. But when I see the influencers, they are earning quite well from Instagram.
No, what I'm saying is that nothing is bad. If you think that Instagram is your career, do well in Instagram. That's also a good career. But then do something for doing, not just for seeing.
Yes, agree. Too, I totally agree with it. So there's one more question that I feel that all the teenagers would love to ask, and that's one major thing. So you can raise your hand if you want to ask this question. That competition. We always hear this word in our households. We always hear this word everywhere when we are talking to our teachers also. This competition, he's your competitor. Please take your friends as your competitors. Right? This is a very common thing that we get in. So, sir, what is your take on that? Please throw some light on the competition thing, that how to tackle in it with it, because you are in that industry right now. So you can give the
Okay,
practical exposure.
imagine a scenario wherein tomorrow government announce that we will give 1 lakh rupees to everyone every month. Do you think anyone will work? Why are you working? Because you have an incentive that if I don't work, I will not get anything. So I have to work. Why do I study? Why do parents push you for engineering or medical? Because they know that when you become an engineer, you will get good money. That's an incentive, na? So we are humans. Have you heard the story of carrot and donkey? If you put the carrot towards a donkey, it will keep walking. And that exactly is how human system is devised, is defined. We work in a carrot and stick approach, that there is an incentive and there is a punishment. If I study well, I will get an incentive, right? If I don't study well, there's a punishment. I'll not be able to earn well. The society will not respect me. Or if I go to extreme, what they say in movies, you'll not get a good girl or a good boy for marriage, right? So these are basic definitions that are being created. Why they are being created? Because it's a carrot and stick approach. So you have to see society in that term and not in terms of competition. If there is no competition, everyone will stop working. You are working hard only because there is competition. Now, second thing is, while today you can say that in India, because there's a huge population, there are so many things, there is so much competition. I totally agree. India's competition is higher than anyone else in the world. But do you know what? The good news is dark days are over. India is moving towards its brightest days. And I always tell everyone that you are the luckiest generation if you work hard. World's best companies are coming to India. World's best investments are going to come to India. World's best talent will be hired from India. Today, you see, when you see world's top CEOs are Indian, what message does it give to anyone? That if you hire an Indian, they will work hard and reach on the top in your company, beating your competition, right? So that is where you need to understand. It's all about being positive, seeing the sunshine. And today, the sun for India is really shining. So, right now, I would say to you is that understand not from the competition perspective, but from the carrot and stick perspective. That there is a carrot you will get if you work hard, and there's a stick you will get if you don't.
Agree, sir. Even there was a time when people used to go migrate outside of the country to get in
Yeah.
jobs. But these days, I see that even if they are in India after lockdown, even the people are working from here and still they are getting the jobs. And also, people want to take Indians because they know the talent is in India. And
In next 15 to 20 years, you will see the reverse migration wherein people from Europe and US will come to work in India.
surely, sir, surely it will be happening. So I would request every teenager to please switch on a camera. I can see some and not. So please switch on your camera so that we can see each other. This is that 1 hour we get to see each other and we can ask the questions. I would ask So we'll take the next question from the team. So Tasmia, please switch on your mic and go ahead with your question.
Good evening, sir. I'm Tasmia Sir from Dhaka, Bangladesh.
The
Tasmia, can
voice
you
is
be a
not
little
clear
loud?
actually.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
So I feel, Tasmia, your voice is a little, we can hear you, but it's not that audible. No problem. I have your question, sir. I'll just read it for her. So it's about the AI related career, because we are literally hearing this, that AI will be taking over humans in the near future. So she wants to ask that AI related career fields are increasing with the progress of time and science. And will this have any good impact in the world or bad impact?
Okay, I'll give you a answer to this, but in a different approach to give you a real-time example. Okay. Do you know the city called Bangalore, where I'm sitting? This city is called the Silicon Valley of India. Okay. So what happens in the year 1980s, government planned that we will put the software park, electronic park in the country. Okay. And you know which city they actually opted for? Can anyone guess that when government planned for electronic or software park in India, which cities they would have selected?
Bangalore,
Bangalore, Bangalore was not the first choice.
India.
You
Yeah,
can put
India though it's a
it
country.
in the
I'm talking
chat.
about which city. Which city would be the first choice if not Bangalore? Hyderabad. Okay. This is interesting. If you answer, this is interesting. Give any random answer. I'm okay with that. Otherwise, I'll continue. Delhi. Okay. No, not Bangalore, not Delhi. Thiruvananthapuram. No. Kolkata. Yes, exactly. Kolkata. So what happened is Kolkata was once a powerhouse of India. Kolkata was the economic hub of India. Kolkata was the biggest port of India. Kolkata was actually the entry point of India. And that is why government when realized that future is all about technology, they said that we will put our electronic and software park in Kolkata. So central government went to state government to this proposal. Now, what next do you think would have happened? You know what? The government, which was a communist government headed by Jyoti Basu, who is the chief minister, said that we will not put it because you know what? Computers will take the jobs. And rest, they say, is history. When Jyoti Basu rejected, government went to different cities, offered it, Bangalore took it. Today, after 40 years, Bangalore is the Silicon Valley of India. Every year exporting the softwares worth 186 billion. $186 billion worth of software Bangalore exports to the world. So what I want to tell you is that it is not about artificial intelligence. It is not about technology. It is not about changes. It is about adaptability. There is one skill which is a real future skill, and that is called adaptability. If you are ready to adapt with the future, no technology can take your job because you are ready. Today, if you remember the same, I mean, your generation would not know, but in our generation, when computers were introduced, there were a lot of bank people who were in protest that we computers will take our job. Eventually, what happens is, did anyone lose the job? No. But today, the software technology is so fast that you can transfer money to anyone in seconds, not even minutes. Right? So that is the power of adaptability. So do not think in terms of losing a job. Do not think in terms of negative. Think in terms of If I am ready to work hard and being adaptable, even AI cannot take my job. In fact, AI is going to provide so many jobs and change the life of so many people, increasing a lot of money in the economy.
Yes, because when I heard about it 3 years back, that was my question also. That what if AI will take over the jobs that the humans are doing? But you said it quite right that they can provide jobs, but now I'm very sure that they cannot take the jobs because humans are humans.
No. No, see, computers today have become the biggest job provider in the country. And people are able to make good money, giving better life to their families because they have adapted. In fact, one of the beauty of our country is that we were high in adaptability. We had the IITs, we had the so many institutions, so many engineering college, and even the small computer centers which were there to teach people. And that's why India went ahead so fast.
Yes, so I totally agree. And even I got to get a lot of answers, which I wanted to ask at some point of time.
Right.
I was choosing my career. So that was
Correct.
indeed a great session for me as well. So there is one thing that I want to ask is there anything that we haven't touched in the session? Is there any topic that you want to address to the teens? Any takeaways that you want to give the students as a closing address?
So what I say is, see, understand, you know cricket, okay? When someone plays cricket, how do somebody play in India? They first play in states, under 19, then for the country. Even for the match when they go, what they do first? They do a warm-up. Then they go in the real match. But while choosing a career, you don't do a warm-up. You directly go and start playing. And that exactly is where the whole problem starts. What happens is I'll give you a step-by-step approach on how do you select a career, how to create the awareness about the career. But of course, you have to study for that. See, first thing is having a self-assessment. Sit down with yourself. Write down your liking and disliking. Understand the basics. Next thing is understand what are the different areas in which careers are available. One area is engineering. Under engineering, then you have thousands of things. One area is medical. Under that, you have thousands of things. One area is commerce. Again, thousands of things. Humanities, law, filmmaking, all such career which are open for everyone. Offbeat careers. First thing is selecting an area. Now coming to second thing, just like cricket. Now in cricket, Sachin Tendulkar, if I talk, Sachin Tendulkar is good in batting. Now, if I send Sachin Tendulkar on number 9, will he ever make 100 or 50 centuries? No, he has to play as an opener to make centuries. Similarly, you have to select one area that, okay, now I want to go only into this particular area. I have selected the block for myself. So this is your block. After selecting the block, then I go on and do research about what are the colleges, which are the states, what are their requirements, how do I prepare for it. A lot of basics that I have to do. Then, so this is your warm up. And the players who do good warm up perform better in the real match. Similarly, those who do sufficient practice, who do sufficient background work, do better in college. Similarly, if you remember, I told you about the basic skills. Do you know why I was able to do well in my MBA, even despite being an average student? Because I knew I am not a very studious person. I might not be getting 90 or 95%, but I have my basics sorted. I can give a presentation. I can communicate well. I can develop good understanding in one particular topic or subject that is of my interest, and I can speak about it. So if you develop the basics, you can outsmart many people because they're still busy watching Instagram. Right. So this is how you do. Actually, you have to do warm up and then you will do well in the real match.
Totally agree, sir. You have to just find out one career that what exactly is your area of interest, and there are hundred of career options that you'll be getting in.
Yeah. So not, I'll just correct here that not one career, but one block.
Yeah.
Within one block, you have many careers. It's always evolving. Okay. Today I learn software, tomorrow some new technology come, but I'll not leave the software field. My block is software. So
Yeah.
you have to create your block. Then within that block, there are hundreds and thousands of things that you can do.
I totally agree, sir. Thank you so much that you have enlightened the students with a career thing, because I know that it is such a complex thing to decide that what exactly you want to do, the pressure that the teens get from what you want to do, what you want to do in your life and everything. I totally understand that because we have went
Correct.
through it and they are.
Zaira has raised hand. I think some Zaira, do you have a question?
Zaira, can you please unmute yourself? And if you have a question, please come up with it.
Yes, sir. My question is, we are advised the concept of demand and supply while choosing the
Mhm.
career, but the
Mhm.
well-reputed career options are already concentrated, and to move out of the regular queue brings a lot of pressure from parents, teachers, etc. What should we do in this matter?
See, you need to understand one thing. While you can call it pressure or expectations, at the end of the day, what does your parents want from you? Do they want something? I don't think so. What they are looking for is your future and your security. But then they don't have the patience for that. While they want good for you, they don't have the patience to wait. So that is why they start creating the pressure. What also, second thing, your parents are not in confidence. So when you feel pressure from your parents, there are two things that I can advise to you. One is you have to sit down with them and tell your plan, right? Imagine I am no, I'm not fat, but imagine I'm fat and I have to lose weight. The first thing I have to do is, if my parents want me to lose weight, I have to sit with them and tell them the plan that for next 3 months, I will run every morning 5 kilometers. They will have the confidence, right? Second thing is you have to tell them the outcome that if okay, I'll run 5 kilometers, but I'll say, no, I'll not lose weight. Then why will they trust you? So second, you have to tell them the outcome that I will run 5 kilometers every day for next 90 days. And after 90 days, I will lose 15 kg weight. When they have two things clear, they will stop their pressure or reduce their pressure because now they are in confidence. They are making the pressure because they are insecure. They are insecure that you might not be a right track. They are insecure. You might not make the best out of it. They are insecure that you might not get a good course, good college, or good job in future. So you have to take them in confidence, and then you will see the situation will change.
Yes, sir, for sure. So I hope that you must have got your answer. We will also be taking one more question. That's Vanya. Vanya, please, I can see that your hand is raised. Please unmute yourself and please go up with the question. Vanya, please.
Can you hear,
Yeah,
can
yeah,
you hear me?
yes.
Yeah, so my question is, what are some common pitfalls or mistakes that people in their careers and students in their career make, and how can we avoid them as youth and as young children?
Some of the most common mistakes people make is one, not preparing enough. Okay. Uh, we have a common habit. I'll not say that you have the habit. I also have the habit that why to prepare for exam 3 months in before when we can prepare one night before, right? So that exactly is what we do is that we wait for the last day. Okay. Sometime I have gone to exam on last day. I got all the questions that I just juggled through. But the other time I didn't get even one single question. And that exactly is how life comes. Sometimes life will give you everything. and sometimes it will be like a bouncer for you. So the only thing is preparing sufficient, preparing well in advance, and preparing with the right approach. Number two is having not just right information, but from right source. As I was telling, that one of the things today in your generation is that it is not the problem of information, it is the problem of over information. You click one link or you type one query and you will get thousands of answers. Understanding a reliable source and then consuming the information is very important. Recently, there is an important case also which all of you should know. There is a company called Zerodha. Okay, it's a very famous finance company, and its founder is one of the celebrated startup founders in the country. So he was hospitalized. He was very young, I think in his 40s or something. So that time, a doctor from Tata Memorial Hospital, Mumbai, has written on social media that one of the major reasons of people falling sick in such young age is taking advice from social media influencers, right? So what happens is that for a prescription, I should go to a doctor, not to an influencer, especially for my health. Similarly, for my career, I should talk to my teachers and principals and counselors and those who have done something in this industry, who have made something, and not the ones who are really good in camera and have that influencer status. So while I'm not saying somebody good in camera and having influencer status cannot give you good advice, they might give you, but it is always good to have the double check. In medical field, you say second opinion. So similarly, having a second opinion or getting the information from right source. So I think these are two important factors which you do. Things will fall on track. Sufficient on-time preparation and information from right and reliable source.
Yes, so I know that this over information on internet is very dangerous at times also, because in medical fields and law field we have seen that the information that has been provided is written by the content writers and not the expert. So as well said by sir, please follow the expert opinion before taking a step. Reading is still okay, taking information in is okay, but not following everything on the internet is fine, right? So I know the teens must be having more questions, but because we'll be concluding this session for now, and we'll surely be seeing you once again with these questions and the career Q&A. So, sir, is there any question that you found most interesting? I would really like to know.
I think all the questions were interesting, and I really was happy to answer everything. You had the thoughtful questions right from your strengths and weaknesses to having a portfolio to getting into future, especially what we can and how we can give back was my favorite question. Okay. Uh, you have to develop some things from the right age, and one of those things is giving back. Okay, if you see some of the most successful people in the country, if I ask you one question, who was the richest person born in 1800s? Do you know?
The chat is on for everybody, so I'll see if the teens can answer it as well.
Yeah.
Who was the richest
Who
person?
was the richest person born in 1800s? 1800s in India or the world? Don't Google. If you know only, then answer. But if I ask you that who is the person called father of the nation born in 1800s? Yeah, so I have got few answers, of course, Rothschild and Jamshed Tata and Ford. So my second question was that who is known as father of the nation who was born in 1800s? Everyone knows, right? While the richest person is one or two-person will know, everyone knows it is Mahatma Gandhi who was born in 1800 and known as father of the nation, right? So Mahatma Gandhi did not make money. Mahatma Gandhi was not the richest person. Mahatma Gandhi was all about giving back to the society. And this is a simple message. See, if you see India as a country, We do not worship who was the richest. We worship who was the biggest giver, or what we call in Hindi the tyagi. So, giving back to society is one thing which I found very interesting. And I would tell everyone, and giving back does not mean that you leave your career, and giving back is all about, like I am talking to you. I am finding satisfaction that I'm able to help you, right? This is not mandatory for me, but I'm doing it. This is a basic giving back, and you can do in any industry. So, social entrepreneurship is, of course, one question which I found very interesting, and I would suggest a lot of people, again, don't forget that follow your block. While I am advising, it does not mean everyone goes and become a social entrepreneur. But yes, I will tell a lot of kids to think about social entrepreneurship, because that is going to be a big thing in this country, wherein you have so many problems on ground. And if everyone start looking at those problems and start solving in a way which also makes money, it will make everyone's life easy. You are on mute.
Yes, sir. I totally get exactly you're saying. I guess Mehrose wants to ask something. Mehrose, you are. Please unmute yourself and please ask.
Good evening, sir. I am Mehruz Fatima of MS Creative School, Hyderabad, India. My question is, what should we do in life so that when we go for job, so we should be preferred first. There were no difficulties in our path.
This is a very wrong approach. You should not choose this approach that if I go, I'll be preferred first. No, there will be a competition, and you are not running for being first, you are running for being better. And there's a difference in that. What happens is your goal is not to defeat everyone else. Your goal is to become better and then make everyone else better. Right. So there are basic skills I have always repeated in multiple times in this session, that you have to develop basic skills, good presentation, good communication, having sufficient knowledge on the subject in the job that you are going, and preparing in advance. These are some basic skills. But that does not guarantee that you will be preferred first, because when an interviewer sees you, they see a lot of things. And one thing that you should not showcase is a selfishness. Okay, so what you are saying right now is that I should be preferred first. That's selfishness. With this kind of attitude will become dangerous for you. Right now, your objective is not the competition. Your objective is making yourself better, being part of the competition.
I totally agree. All this part of the competition, you should always accept the fact that the best will win. So if you are doing your best, others are doing their best as well.
Exactly.
So healthy competition is what you have to follow as a teenager, as an adult, and as a human, I feel. It's very important to follow the healthy competition. So, sir, as
Right.
we come to the conclusion of this enlightening masterclass and as interactive as well, we got so many questions from the teen side. So it was very informative. As I said, I'll repeat it. It was very informative for me as well. So as we leave this masterclass, I am very sure the teens will be carrying forward all the knowledge that they gained and the inspiration that they gained to get into the career options that they will be choosing it. So we'll surely be seeing you once again, and we'll have more of these career Q&As where you can guide the students. And so thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
giving the chance to Blub World and World Teen Parliament to host you. Thank you so much. And thank you to
Right.
all the teens as well
Yeah.
to join this session and take a part.
My congratulations and thanks to your team, Blub Word, for doing such wonderful work,
Thank you so much.
engaging the teens who are the future of this country in a meaningful discussion to find out what is best for them, which is very important. And also, my best wishes to all the teenagers who have joined and who will see the future recording of this video. I am just a message away. Wherever you feel you need my help, I would be happy to help you. Whenever you want me to come on this platform, I would be happy to come. As long as is it serving others in a meaningful way, I'm always there to help you. Thank you so much for having me in this session.
Thank you so much, sir. We surely look forward to being
Yeah.
connected for you, and we'll have more sessions of this. So all the teams
Definitely.
whose questions were not being taken, I know there's a time constraint and sir is also busy. You people also have to study a lot, right? Other subjects are also there. So please continue. Best of luck for your studies, your futures. Some students are having exams. Best of luck for that as well. Take care and good night.
Thank you.